There we go. Great. Everyone have their lab sheet in front of them? Yeah. And a pencil is the two things you need.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to get started. If you had to give a summary of what we've been doing in bits and pieces so far. So think back to last week with investigation 1. What have we been talking about? Think about everything we've done so far. Parker?
We've talked about ratios, fractions, groups, and comparing, and
I like the things that you listed. Talk to me about ratios. What do you know about ratios so far from this book? Jamie?
It means comparing things.
Comparing things. We're always comparing like two things at once. So if you could think of an example of a ratio, give me an example of a ratio. Jordan.
For every 5 boys, there's 1 girl.
Very good. For every 5 boys in the class, there's 1 girl in the class. Another example. Let's do one more. Okay.
For every 8 animals in the zoo, there are 12 workers.
For every 8 animals in the zoo, I like that one, there are 12 workers. We would write it. What came first? Order matters, right? Animals did. So 8 to 12. Can you think of another ratio that is equivalent to 8 to 12? Ted?
For every 4 animals, there are 6 workers.
4 to 6. Why is this equivalent? Okay.
Because they're both divided by 2, so we use the answer of that number divided by 2, and it'll equal the same thing.
Yeah, so 4 to 6, even 2 to 3, right? This is the idea of proportional reasoning, which is our I can statement. This idea of using proportional reasoning to solve what's called a unit rate. Okay?
Yay.
That's what we're doing today. I'm going to show you a picture. Take a minute.
What the?
What do you see and what do you notice? Real quick. What do you see and what do you notice? Chelsea?
I see that there are ratios.
You see that there are ratios where?
Like for the Cheetos, it says every 2 Cheeto bags is $4.
2 for 4. You probably heard that at the grocery store. That's a ratio. 2 Cheeto bags for $4. That's something Kelsey sees and notices. Kelly?
6 to 10.
Okay, what does that mean in this context?
You get 6 of Chinese food and for $10.
6 lean cuisines, those are those frozen meals, you know? Lean cuisines, 6 of them for $10. Okay, new question. What kind of questions can we ask based on this picture and based on what you've been telling me and what you've been looking at? What kind of questions can we ask? Emily?
How much is 1 lean cuisine?
How much is 1 lean cuisine? That's a good question. We know that 6 of them cost $10, so maybe how much 1 costs? Brett?
How much is 1 bag of Cheetos?
How much is 1 bag of Cheetos? If I know 2 of them cost $4, how much is 1? That's awesome. What other questions could you ask? Zoe, last one.
How much is it for 1 big K 2-liter cake?
This one?
Yeah.
The Big K soft drinks. We know 4 of them cost $3. How much is 1? Well, now, out of all of those questions, what is in common so far? What did you find in common with everyone's questions? Alex?
They were like the same question,
But how are they in common? What about them made them similar to each other?
they were asking for simplified versions.
And I agree going. Let's keep going off what Alex said. Logan? Most of them have ratios, but what about the question itself, like what we were asking is in common? Amy?
I'm asking how much one thing was.
We're asking how much one thing costs. We can take this idea of ratios that we talked about last week, 2 to 4, 8 to 12. We can use this idea in proportional reasoning to figure out how much one bag of Cheetos costs or one lean cuisine costs. This is the idea of unit rate. Unit is like one unit. So the idea of finding what one thing costs. Hold on, Kai. Now look at these two statements. As a table, talk about what's similar between the two and what might be different.
Between what two?
Between this sentence and this sentence.
Oh, I think clarify. Well, the first one is the question, and the second one is the answer.
The first one is the question, the second one is the
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right.
Okay, why don't you talk to your group with me away?
So, first we say this much for this many cents ago, and then the next one is saying how for one student. Yeah, the one student.
3, 2, eyes up here, and 1. Let's see. Tyler's group back there. What were some things that were similar about both statements?
They were in general talking about the same thing. Talking how much it costs for students to go on the trip.
So what I'm hearing you say is there are two things they're comparing: cost and number of students going on a trip. That's for both of them, right? It costs $120 for 10 students. The cost per student to go on this trip is $12. Anything else similar? Brett?
In both questions, they're giving the same ratio because if you have 10 students with the bottom one, you get $120, and then you use 10.
So this ratio, money is first to students. We have $120 for every 10 students. And then you said this is the same ratio because...
Yeah, but I just realized something different. But the order of the ratio is different.
Yeah, this one, the cost per student, they're talking about per student is $12. But when I write the equivalent ratio, I can put 12 to 1. That's okay. So that was something that was different between them. Anything else you see different? What about the wording? Zoe?
The first one, it says it costs $120 per 10 students, and in the second one, it says the cost per student. It only says for one student on the second.
It still uses this idea of per. When you hear per, what do you think of? Have you heard, not like a cat purring? Jordan?
Like one person or for that person.
So an idea of 1 per person. I think of mileage, like I get, 30 miles per gallon. Meaning per 1 gallon, I get 30 miles. So the ratio could be 30 to 1. Out of these, which is our unit rate? If you had to guess now, out of these two equivalent ratios, which is our unit rate? Yeah, Alex.
The second one.
The second one, and why do you say that?
Because it's saying that
each.
This is money and this is students.
Saying that per thing you do that much.
Poor thing you're doing that much.
Anyone want to help them out? I think I know where you're going with this, Jamie.
The most simplified.
The most simplified meaning that I have one student. One of my things I'm comparing, or the two, is a unit of one, and the other tells me how much it costs for that one student. Very good. Look at these other pictures and tell me what comes to mind. We have 2 cereal boxes.
Oh, gosh.
What do you see and what do you notice?
I think cornflakes.
Raise your hand, please. Logan,
That one box is bigger than the other.
how do you know that?
The price. No.
Does Price tell you that the cereal box is bigger?
No.
Evan?
Well, if you can't see it,
Yeah, you want to come to the board?
explain it out. It shows you right here. It shows you the ounces.
Yeah.
24.8 and 18.2 ounces.
Interesting. So this cereal, you get 24.8 ounces for $4.99, and this one you get 18.2 ounces for $4.19. So what question comes to your mind when you look at this picture? Question comes to your mind. Kelsey?
How much is 1 ounce?
How much is 1 ounce for each cereal box? Very good. Yeah.
Also I found your list.
Did you? Does it say?
Yes.
Where does it say?
Oh, yeah.
You want to come to the board?
Oh, yeah. 23.
There you go.
6.
So maybe we can think of what's the better deal. You know when you go to the grocery store and you see all the different sizes and the prices? Maybe what's the better deal? You can use unit rates, how much it is for 1 ounce, to find the better deal. Let's keep going. I want to show you this picture. Save more this summer. All 2 liters. 2 for $3.33, 3 for $4, or 4 for $5. What questions come to your mind when you look at this picture? Kelly?
How much is 1?
One what? How much it cost for 1 liter. I like that. Jamie?
I was gonna answer.
How would you answer it?
It says or 199 each.
Or $1.99 each. So maybe the question is it worth it to just buy 1 liter or get these deals where I buy more? Maybe I have to buy 4 liters, but I'm only paying 5. Unit rate can help. Last one. Maybe when you go to Speedway, you see these sized slushies or ices, especially in the summertime. What questions come to your mind when you look at this picture? Gunnar, what do you think?
What's the best deal?
What's the best deal? Do I go for the 20 ounce, the 32, the 44? And how would I know what the best deal is? How do I know, Kai?
I was gonna ask another question.
Let's go off of Gunner's real quick. How would I know if I'm getting the best deal? What would I have to find? Zoe?
You would have to find the unit rate or unit price.
The unit rate, which is how much money for 1 ounce. If I know how much it costs for 1 ounce of each of these sizes, I will know the better rate. Very good. Kai, what was your question?
My question is, how much for half an ounce?
Ooh, you want to know how much for half of an ounce? That might add an element of some challenge. I think if we just know 1, it might be the most helpful for us, but you can find how much half of an ounce is. We mostly look at things, though, with unit rate as 1 ounce.
Okay.
Take your lab sheet and look at the example problem. As a table, I want you to look at those. So we're talking about chewy fruit worms. Basically, like those gummy worms. How can I divide chewy fruit worms so everyone gets equal shares? It's all about equal shares today. Look at these two problems with your table and decide how are you going to partition them, which means cut them up so everyone gets the same amount. Make sense? Why don't you get started? I'm going to put this on the document.
Each person gets 1/4. Yeah.
Or 2 4.
And it's 4 people.
And the second.
I already did. Each person gets 1/4 and I'm gonna do.
Oh my God. I think 7.
Okay, this is the homework where I get these fractions. How would I show that? 4 people. We can go on if you are done.
So 2 ways that
That means
each case
so we put 1 here. What about this? 4 segments, but now you have 3 now. Yeah, can you show me on the word? What is it? Like this one. There you go. You can do it like that. Split right up. Well, it's already split up into 4. Maybe if you say, oh, never mind. Okay. Yeah. I want you to turn your direction to the board, and I would love some people to come up to the board and show me how you partitioned or divided these gummy worms, knowing the number of people and the section. So first example, how can you share a 4-segment chewy fruit worm equally among 4 people? Lexi. Try to find a marker. How did you and your group partition? Okay, talk to me about why this makes sense.
It makes sense because there's 4 groups and there's 4 people and 4 divided
4 divided by 4 is 1. Each person gets 1 segment.
Which is what fraction compared to the gummy worm, the whole gummy worm?
1/4.
1/4. So we would say, well, you get 1 segment or 1/4 of the gummy worm. Very good. Okay, next one. I'm going to add that here. Next one is broken up into 4 segments again, but we have 3 people sharing it. 3 people sharing it. Kelly, come to the board and show us how you gave those 3 people equal parts.
Oh.
Okay, talk to me about what you did.
Okay, so obviously you can't share 3 people because we only need 3 drawers. So I split it, 4 and 3 are all factors of 12.
Okay.
So I split it up each into these boxes into thirds so
Okay.
that they each get 4 drawers.
So can you show me which segments person 1 gets? And that's 4 segments out of 12 that she made. Is that okay to do? Raise your hand if you did it this way. Okay, is that the only way? Thanks, Kelly. I like it. So we can say they get 4/12 of the segment of the chewy fruit worm. Jordan, can you show us how you partition? Yeah. So maybe you did it this way. Take a look at what Jordan does.
I did 1/3.
Huh. So you made your own sections of thirds, but then how many segments do they get?
1/3. 1, 2, 3. So each person gets 1.
Zoe, do you have a question about this?
I have a different way that's kind of almost the same.
Why don't we look at Zoe's way? Let's keep this up here. Because remember, the segments are the ones they've already divided. They've already grouped them into 4 segments. So we need to talk about how many of those 4 segments, so you can come on up, each person gets. Thank you, Jordan. Okay, so maybe there's a third way to do it. Yeah. I think I want you to look at the segments they already made, not make up your own third.
And then I thought about this one. Oh.
Okay, Zoe, explain what you did. This is interesting. Nice and loud, please.
I thought about, I knew that 4 was bigger than 3, so I gave each of them 1 whole segment. And then you have 1 left over that can be cut into thirds, which is how much you would have to have. So each person would get 1 and 1/3.
Did anyone do it this way? A couple people? Yeah, this is awesome. Thanks, Zoe. Why not give each person 1 of the segments and then only break it up with the 4th segment when you need to? So each person gets a segment and a third of a segment. Now, I know when Kelly, I think Kelly, you did this and you said 4/12. We were talking about 4/12 of the whole word. Zoe's talking about how much of a segment you get. Okay? This is what one student gets. This is what we call unit rate. Kind of cool, right? So is there different ways to look at this?
Yes.
Yes. More than one. With a partner or by yourself, partner has to be at your table. I want you to finish this lab sheet. You're going to have different scenarios, different segments, different number of students. Work through problems A through E. You can do it alone or with a partner. Okay? Once you get started, I'll be walking around to check on you. So if you have to work together, you can.
One segment, each of them is one segment. Oh, you're thinking, I'm doing,
Or 1 and 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, 4. Because, wait.
you're right. That's what I thought. Tell your story.
And it has a package first.
No, you know what you should
Now we get a salad.
Really stop. That's a great song about butterflies and runners and stuff. They played it on the side. I absolutely love it. It makes me cheerful. I'm turning it right now. Let me grab it until I guess I think. Okay, so this one will be.
Make sure that whenever you do your sections, that you have to get the same number. It's talking about number of segments. So I know in our tables we did one as a fraction of the whole word and the other as segments, but for this example, I need both of these numbers equal. If they don't, then I think one of them works.
Letters inside of the letters. They have a heart inside of the
If you divide each in half, how many segments do you have? How many people need to share? No, you can split the segments in half, as long as the way you're splitting your segments are the same for every segment. What we saw before is we took thirds. So that
Well, yeah.
I like that.
Boogers and airplanes.
Oh, yeah.
That pencil. Man, all I want is something. And on my white note.
So now 1/3 times 4. So 4 times
5 or 10 more minutes.
So 1 and 1.
Some of you will be putting your work on the board to show how you cut up the kiwi fruit worm.
I have B for 1 gun. 1.
Why did I count as a
Is 1 person.
Who did?
There is
Actually, probably was. Most of them are non-existent here. That's the only reason I love here in Ohio. Yeah, it's like your master, like shows your importance and that kind of thing. Intelligence. The size, it's your face will look out. Oh, that's what oh my God, so
Okay, so
oh yeah,
how much? They take it, not what
I mean, I guess.
you think I should go back? So you tell me how much? Did you say?
How much what?
What's half plus a third?
Okay, so talk through those.
1/2.
Yes, I figured it out.
2 tenths. 3 tenths. 3. 3 tenths. I was close. Show on my paper. I'm on D now. I need that. No, I'm not special. You do. But mine's filled up.
Quit having a war.
I'm working, that's why I'm on D.
Wait, what?
You lied to me.
How many people are
I'm stuck on B since I can figure out this. I figured it out. Let's try to do this one then work out. No, I did that with the other. Oh, I did the same thing. It doesn't.
Okay, 1 minute, we're gonna bring it back together.
I'm going to I no for how can you say no work on it? Crazy talk.
Right?
Which?
Right up in second.
Oh, my seat.
Because if you write half, they're going to see that you're writing half of it. And then plus the fourth, they're going to see a fourth of that. Because if that was true,
Okay,
it was, wouldn't it be like
Okay, now it's
2 over 8? What happened? No.
Get back to your seat if you're not there.
Help me, I'm stuck to my chair now.
Go into the seat. Okay. I want to look at a few of these together, but instead of you listening to everything I'm saying, I want to look at your work. So what that's going to mean is you're going to bring it to the doc cam and kind of tell the class how you broke up the segments to get equal shares for every single student. So let's look at problem A, which is show 2 ways that 4 people can share a 6-segment chewy fruit worm. In each case, how many segments does each person get? So right now there are 6 segments. Parker, why don't you bring your paper up? kind of walk us through what you did. Gotta talk loud.
Well, I put I have to split it up between 4 people. First, I gave each of them one whole section of the gun one, and then since there wasn't enough for 4 more full sections, I split the next one into 4s.
Oh, that's smart. Do you have questions about that strategy? I know I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
No.
I see you broke it up into 4 pieces right here. How come you wrote down half?
I didn't realize I wrote that down.
Danielle? Well, can you just show him that 1 1/2 is correct?
It
Wait, what?
is, because it is 1/2, even though you split 2 halves, it's 1/2 of one segment, even though you split it twice, I just for the portion.
Ooh, good job.
Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, sure. I agree with everything.
Thanks, Parker. So we broke 2 segments into 4 pieces. So that means you get half of a segment. So you get 1 whole segment and half of another. Now talk to us about your second way.
My second one, I did the same thing, but I split the I split it into 4, and I split it into 4 fourths in the last 2 sections. And then so I could get 1 2/4 solution.
What about that strategy? Does that work? Split your last 2 segments into 4, and you get 1/4 in one segment, 1/4 in another, to the 2/4. Awesome. Thanks, Parker. You can have a seat. Let's look at, Emily, why don't you put your work for problem B. Problem B asks this: show 2 ways that 6 people can share an 8-segment chewy fruit one. So right now we have less people than there are segments. So we know they at least have to get 1 segment. It's about how much more of a segment they get. We'll have to do it this way. There we go. And nice and loud, talk to the group.
I do, so each person could get 1 whole segment, and then I split them and split the last 2 segments into 4, so then each person could also get 1/6. Those could both of these together, mixed together.
Do you guys have a question right now? Some of you are disagreeing. Katie, what do you notice?
Once you get the 1/6, it's only 1/3 of the segment.
So just like Parker's example, we have 6 pieces, but Emily, how much of just 1 segment does student 1 get? You get 1/3 of a segment. So how much does each person get?
1
1/1/3. Awesome. And then talk to us about the second way.
Each person would get, there's 6, each person would get 1 whole segment, and then they would also get 2. I counted these 2 together, and instead of 1 segment, all 6 of them get 2 wholes.
So just like example 1, we have 6 here and 6 here. Student 1 gets 1/6 plus 1/6. What does this need to change to? Someone want to help her out? 2/6 which is 1 1/3, right? So each student gets 1 1/3. Very good. Let's look at one more together before we take our exit slip. Problem C. The reason I want to do problem C is because now you have more people than you do segments. So that means each student is getting less than 1. Let's see. When I walked around, I liked how Katie did for modeling. Katie, why don't you show problem C? Can I go to the board and explain it? Nice and loud.
Okay, so I split each of them up into half, so I got to the last, and then I split them up into two. So I found out that each person would get half, so I had to put that as 36 for common denominators. And then in the last two segments, I found that one person would get 1/6, and I added them to get 4/6.
Do you have questions about this strategy? Does it work? Break each segment into halves. She knew that 1/2 is the same as 3/6 because she needed those 6 to add the last 1/6. So 4/6 of a segment each person gets. Very good. Okay. To end our time before lunch and recess, I want to hand you an exit slip that talks about which option gives you the better deal. So you're going to put your name on it. I want you to do this alone to see kind of where we are after our first day of unit rate. And then we are done. Thank you. So as you complete this, kind of reflect of where you are after day 1 in our I can statement. You need to use proportional reasoning, which is this idea of breaking up these segments to create unit rates. Explain in words and pictures. Did I give you one card? And turn your exit slips into the tray when you're done.